shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Yeah, you right. Let's do this thing on a hot Monday afternoon, but not so hot. Got a little cloud cover, clouds floating by. Keeping it like around 90 feels like high 90s instead of high 90s feels like a $112 like we experienced a week ago. Hey, where's Drew Brees when you need him? There he is, praising the city of New Orleans, Louisiana. It's pronounced New Orleans. Neurleens. New Orleans. All right, I will tell you how it is pronounced. It's not two syllables. The new is said, and then it's Orleans. Orleans, that's it. You can say it fast, New Orleans, and it sounds sort of like Nolans, but no one says Nolans. No one. No one's mind that lives in Metro New Orleans ever says, hey, man, where you from? They go, Nolans, and they have Nawlin in their head. They have New Orleans in their head, and they say New Orleans, and they may say it fast where it comes out New Orleans. So you're thinking you're hearing something like Nolans, but no one says Nolans. There's no two syllables. You might get some of those, like, I'd say 80-plus-year-old uptown white women. They say Noyens. You never heard that, Mario Brothers?
Can't say I have. No.
Well, you need to hang out with some 80-plus-year-old uptown white women.
Clearly.
And it's also just a low percentage. I think most 80-plus-year-old white women in uptown say New Orleans.
Yeah.
But some of the old school ones, Noyens.
Well represented on the show.
Noyens. Anyway. Now, it is, of course, Orleans Parish. And in music, it's tough to say Orleans. You know, Orleans works with other stuff. Anyway, one of the most sung about cities in the history of music, by the way, modern music, New Orleans. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the naturally Nolans Bridge because it's naturally stupid. No one says it. It's nothing, you know. And I love Frank Davis like everybody else. You name an interstate after Frank Davis, the deceased fisherman guy that everybody loves. The bridges down below that they took out that are fishing piers, the Frank Davis fishing pier, you know, but the I-10, well, I'm going to go over the Nash Roberts high rise soon. Love Frank Davis. Super nice guy. Was a great guy. Beloved. I'm not knocking Frank Davis. I'm not knocking just, I guess, A.G. Crow and Slidell's getting bashed. He was an old rep in Slidell, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, and he's against an IG for St. Tammany. An IG is just a CPA type that scrutinizes how public money's being spent. So, like, who would be against that? A politician who's, you know, shifty with the, public money is all I can assume. But, yeah, the A.G. Crow's legacy is naturally Nolans Bridge, the Frank Davis naturally Nolans Bridge. That's what he gave us. That's stupidity. So silly. No, and it makes me sound like I'm knocking Frank Davis, you know. It's like when I say Steve Gleason was a very good special teamer. Steve Gleason wasn't an all-pro or Pro Bowl special teamer. Wasn't the greatest Saints special teamer. And I love Steve Gleason. I love Hokie Gajan. Used to do a Saturday show. Hokie Gajan, like Steve Gleason, kind of like no business being on an NFL field. But because their heart was 110% on the field, it compensated for what they lacked. If you could put their heart in players that can be on the field athletically, my God, you'd have all-world talent. You'd have the game elevated to another level. You know how many players there are out there, Mario Brothers, that get 50% every single day that strictly live off of 6'3", 220, 4'4", 40, quickness, speed, agility, can catch the ball with one hand. You know how many people live off 50%?
Oh, yeah. All levels.
A lot of all levels.
Yep.
All levels. And they're guys that are super talent, that 110%. And they're the Jerry Rices of the world, the Tom Bradys of the world, you know, that. But boy, Steve Gleason, Hokie Gajan, love those guys.
Yes.
But just when people, Hokie was one of the best running backs. No, he wasn't. He's a great fullback, was a all-heart player. I love Hokie Gajan. I consider him a friend. Used to do a show with him on Saturdays. Steve Gleason is a great man. I mean, what a heroic person. Just his attitude is inconceivable.
Yes.
Inconceivable. He's just beyond words. But when, you know, it's like Steve Gleason was one of the best special teams players in Saints history. No, he wasn't. You know, Steve Gleason would tell you he wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, but people get caught up in all that, you know.
I get what you're saying.
You know, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you could add high school me to the list. I told you I played 3 downs of varsity football my whole career.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But those 3 downs were awesome.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's your deal.
Yeah.
You know, Frank Davis was awesome. Naming the twin span from New Orleans East to Slidell after him is ridiculous. That's all. And I'm the jerk. Telling it like it is every weekday afternoon. Some folks like it. Some folks don't. Some days Republicans are like, yeah, you're right, Corey. Get on the woke. And someday the liberals are like, yeah, you're right, Corey. Bust up on those wacky right wingers. Yeah, I'm a registered independent. Just naturally kind of fair, objective thinker, empathy. How's the other side thinking about it? Common sense. What seems to be the best solution? Let's go with facts over ideology and agendas, stuff like that. Tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day in New Orleans. The French Quarter trash wars basically come to an end, pretty much. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals here in New Orleans will be ruling on Henry Consulting versus the New Orleans City Council. The mayor signs Henry Consulting to either a 7 or 8 year deal worth $73 million. The more I see lately, it seems like it's 7 years, 73 mil. So we're going to go with that number from now on. So the mayor signs Henry Consulting to that deal. The city council says any deal over $1 million a year, any contract over $1 million a year, the council has to vote on it and has to approve that. And the council did not approve this. Henry Consulting and the mayor of the city say that's not the deal on a case like this. We have the right to do this contract. So the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals is basically hearing Henry Consulting versus the New Orleans City Council. And it's pretty simple. If Henry Consulting gets a favorable ruling by the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, it's expected that Mayor LaToya Cantrell, Junket Cantrell, will immediately cancel the IV waste contract she just signed last week through December. Cancel it immediately. And as quickly as that contract can be terminated, Henry Consulting will take over cleaning the French Quarter. It could be as early as this Wednesday or Thursday. It could be this week. And it's not only through December, it's the full 7-year, $73 million deal. Are you hearing me? If the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals tomorrow agrees with Henry Consulting, they get a 7-year, $73 million deal. They start cleaning the quarter as quickly as IV Waste's deal can be terminated, which might be within 30 days, might be within 30 hours. I have no idea what the contract calls for. Could be relatively quick, immediately. So you could literally see a Fourth Circuit ruling in favor of Henry Consulting tomorrow, and they're in the quarter by the end of the week, maybe, and for the next 7 years. Or if the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals agrees with the New Orleans City Council that any contract over $1 million the council has to approve, then Ivy Waste will continue cleaning the French Quarter by themselves until December. And then in the next few months, the city will put out a bid for a future trash hauler to maybe Ivy Waste, maybe Henry Consulting, who knows, starting in January 2026 and beyond. So city council wins, Ivy Waste stays in the quarter till December, and in the next few months, bids go out for a January 2026 trash pickup in the quarter and CBD. If Henry Consulting gets a favorable ruling tomorrow by the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, they could be taking over the French Quarter deal by this week. If not, as soon as the Ivy Waste contract will be terminated by the mayor. And then they're the trash hauler for the next 7 years and $73 million. Tomorrow's a big day for you French Quarter folks, for the metro area. The French Quarter's the pearl. The metro area is the oyster. It all starts in the quarter and goes out from there. That's how New Orleans is. We're a tourist convention-based city. And we've got other things too. Always trying to diversify the economy, I guess slowly but surely. But that's a big, big part. And the French Quarter is key. So lots of residents, lots of businesses kind of biting their fingernails, seeing what the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals is going to do. Because it's not only like Ivy Waste out immediately and Henry Consulting coming in, it's Henry Consulting for the next 7 years. Or Ivy Waste through December, and then a new contract in January. USA Today preseason coaches poll is out. Mario Brothers is a sports freak. He's all excited about it. LSU slipping in the top 10. Yeah, you right. Tulane right on the cusp. I thought they could have slipped in it. They're right there, like 36th. Right there. Monday afternoon edition of the program. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
Native son, great New Orleanian. No, that's me.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
New Orleans native son. No, that's me. That's me, lady. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Hey, by the way, love to hear from you. Comments, questions, critiques, input, anything. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Phone lines are always open. It's a talk radio, talk television show. I know I go off. That doesn't mean you can't jump in the ball game. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X, fielding your phone calls at 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Yeah, love to hear from you, like elections coming up. Who are you voting for mayor and why? Every Tuesday, tomorrow, I'll have Dan Reel on again. Dan Reel gave money to Royce Duplessis. Right now, Royce Duplessis is Dan Reel's guy. I don't know why. I think Dan has a personal relationship with him, knows him, and likes him. I told Dan, I'm like, Dan, Helena Moreno, Oliver Thomas, Royce Duplessis, Arthur Hunter, all of them they're not like moderate Democrats. They're kind of hardcore left. You know, some of them are even woke. You know, I have, first off, Helena Moreno's the prohibitive favorite. I think she's going to be mayor. I think there's hope for her. She's liberal by nature. So black community, Democrats, you don't have to worry about her not being liberal or a Democrat. That she's locked and loaded for that. You're golden. But conservatives in New Orleans, like white conservatives or white conservatives in the suburbs concerned about New Orleans getting out of just the Democrat, liberal, woke-led policies forever with not a single conservative voice anywhere to be heard, you might get a conservative voice heard with Helena Moreno. She kind of is going to know where her bread's butter, how she got elected. It's going to be a large percentage of black females that Oliver Thomas couldn't keep. I'm not saying she's going to get the majority of black females. She's going to get too large of a percentage for Oliver Thomas to win. And she's going to get like all the white uptown conservative vote. All of it. All of it. So those folks, it's not like they're expecting something, you know, they know what they're voting for. They're voting for a Democrat. They're holding their nose. But I think Helena Moreno, like I said, knows where her bread was buttered, and she's going to be like, let me listen to these people. And those people are going to have some ideas that are good ideas, because all Democrat, all liberal, all real hyper woke ideas exclusively for New Orleans doesn't do New Orleans any good. It's very similar to Louisiana with, you know, I know you hardcore Republicans don't like hearing that because you're on top right now with the president and all that. And here in Louisiana's 50th in everything. It's been Republican led for decades now. Now you can go, John Bel Edwards was governor. Yeah, and Republican Senate and House. Wasn't like, you know, John Bel Edwards was, everything he wanted was green light. And this is a blue dog Democrat, if you like it or not. Anti-abortion, pro-guns. He's got lots of conservative values. That's how he won two-term governor. Some liberal woke Democrat wouldn't have had a chance to win. So no, the state is essentially, you know, evangelical, wacky right-wing led, and the city of New Orleans is hyper-liberal, hyper-woke. But I'll give the state credit. They did elect John Bel Edwards, a Democrat, twice. I hear you. I'm not, deaf to that. And New Orleans never elects any Republicans or conservative-leaning people, and that's a problem. I'm not for Democrats or for Republicans. I'm just for the best ideas, and each party has probably an equal number of good and bad ideas. And if you think, oh, no, Corey, Republicans have much better, it's 51-49. Like I've said. You folks that cling into the Republican Party like it's fantastic. Republican Party's like 6 and they play 17 games now, huh, Mario Brothers? So 6-11. 6-11. And the Democrats are like, 3-14, 4-12, whatever it is. Can't even do the math.
Either one of those would cash on the over for Saints win total. Just saying.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Just saying.
Yeah, Saints win. What's the over-under for Saints? 4.5?
I think it's
5?
5.
Yeah, tied with 3 other teams for worst in the league.
Yeah.
Only team to get an F by ESPN last week, NBA, Pels. Yeah, it's not good. But I mean, look, the last 3-4 years, neither team's done anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty fair.
Is that pretty fair to say the last 3 or 4 years, neither team has done anything? Am I wrong?
Yes. No, not at all.
Jeez. Like we said earlier, Mario Brothers, the expectations and hope thing. For Tulane and LSU fans, there is an expectation of 9-10 wins. I'm expecting 10 wins each team.
Yes.
I'll be a little disappointed if each team doesn't get to 10 regular season wins or more.
Yeah, the vibes are a lot better for the college teams here.
That's an expectation.
And the pro teams, yeah.
I'm hoping the Saints can get to 7 or 8 wins and play like Jim Mora's 87 team that they were in every game, in it in the fourth quarter, ran out of gas, didn't have enough depth on the bench. These other teams had more depth, were a little more seasoned. They won at the end. Yeah. Saints learning to win. I just want to see improvement.
Yeah, you want to see progress. You want to see the coach get the most out of his players.
Yeah, the last few years has been the opposite.
No, and that doesn't necessarily equal wins, but you want to see him get the most out of their players.
The Saints are, I know it's as simple as 1, 2, 3. For them to win, it is as simple as 1, 2, 3. You have to have the quarterback be viable and actually be a starter and play well. Doesn't have to be all pro, just has to be a viable NFL starter for the entire season. One of these 3 QBs. And like Jim Fink said, you got 3 QBs, you got no QBs. And the Saints right now have no QB by Jim Fink's philosophy. The other 2 things are seasoned veterans playing like they're younger, like Demario Davis and Cam Jordan. I would have said Tyrann Mathieu, but he retired. So kind of proving my point. You got to get these older guys playing like they're young. Taysom Hill recovered from injury and playing like he's young. And then you need the young guys to play like they're experienced.
Yes.
You're going to be starting like 4 or 5 draft choices, rookies starting. Yes. Better be starting 4 or 5.
Or at least looking like they belong in the NFL.
And they got to look like they belong in the NFL.
Yes.
If you get that, you'll get to 7 or 8 wins.
Exactly. Not saying it needs to be like an all-star rookie class, but they need to contribute a lot more than the last couple of rookie classes.
Yeah, you don't get much out of the rookie class. You can knock off a win or 2, so you're right down to like 6.
Yes.
You don't get, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan playing well, knock off a win or 2, you're down to like 4. You get no viable QB play, none. Like you're just rotating quarterbacks. Could be like a 3-win team.
Yes. Reasonable expectations on this show. I like it.
Yeah, if I try to be realistic about it. I don't know. Am I wrong to say that and have the Saints in LSU and Tulane at 10 plus?
No, I think most fans would, agree with you.
Expectations and hope. Brett Martell's going to join us in about an hour or so, 5:35, 5:40, 5 o'clock power hour. We always talk a little Tulane LSU Saints. A story in the Times-Picayune. NOLA educator recalls gut punch of teacher firings after Katrina. Such a wacky headline. Read the story. It's actually exactly what I talk about. That Katrina, one of the silver linings, was the dismantling of the Orleans Parish public school system. Was the firing, the article said 7,000. I think it was closer to like 8,500. Orleans Parish public school employees. Everybody. Bus drivers, school teachers, everyone fired. And people are just like, God, Corey, you're cold. And were you around in '05 after Katrina? There was nothing here. There were no schools. There were no students. There was no population. Those people are living all around the place. They're not working anymore as teachers. Everybody was wondering what they were going to do. I was worried about all kind of stuff in my life. Mortgage, job, everything. Like most folks, there's some folks that are stable and have a career or job for life or are independently wealthy, and they probably weren't too concerned. Big inconvenience for them. 90% of the population, I would say, were pooping in their pants, not knowing what's next for their life or their job. So like, tell me the alternative. You're going to keep 7,500, 8,500 Orleans Parish Public School employees on salary and pay them, or promise them they'll have a job when the system comes back, whenever that's going to be? It's slowly but gradually. How do you're going to let in 500 and then 1,000? Well, I mean, it's ridiculous. No, and let's not forget, the Orleans Parish Public School system 20 years ago, this isn't an exaggeration or embellishment or lies. This is right on it, fact on it, point on. It was a disgrace. It was one of the worst school systems year in, year out, decade in, decade out, my entire life. The Orleans Parish Public School system sucked. It was awful. It was horrendous. There were about 5 acceptable schools, and there were about 50 that were just flat out awful. Awful. You had teachers that were dead that got paychecks that their family cashed, literally. Dead people getting checks. I remember the Colonel Davis. I mean, first off, military folks in regular life after military, do you know of any that use their military moniker? None. Military people are proud. They don't even mention the military. Sometimes it's years later. You're like, dude, you were in the Army? You were in the Marines? They don't even mention it. Military people are proud. They keep it quiet. Colonel Davis. You have to use that moniker like to legitimize himself. His father was a janitor back then, making $72,000 a year as a janitor because he worked 10 days a week, 50 days a month, 700 days a year, stuff like that. School buildings that were just in deplorable condition, no air conditioning, just horrible. People couldn't read or write. A terrible school system, as bad as it gets. Period. End of story. The worst in America. Right up there, worst, top 1, 2, 3, bottom. No, post-Katrina, charter school system, rebuilding the schools. This article talks about it. I mentioned it. The legitimate teachers, the legitimate bus drivers, the legitimate cafeteria workers, the people where it's a vocation, they feel their duty to teach and give to the students. They're going to get back into that. And the folks that were BS artists that just going through the motions, getting a check, they're going to get weeded out. And that's exactly what happened. That's what this article should be about. Instead, it's about the gut check. No, the gut check was a beautiful silver lining, one of the positives from Katrina, firing the 8,000 or so public school employees in Orleans Parish. Only a plus. Oh. Only a plus?
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog.
766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, is there a commercial on TV that literally scares the hell out of you? I got one for you. These Jardiance commercials, these different ones, there's got to be like 10 or 12 different Jardiance commercials with the same song with a different concept behind the song. Have you seen these?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Like the big black guy in the baseball outfit and he's real effeminate.
Yes.
And then like the Latina lady originally like in the yellow dress and she's like big. She's like a big woman, you know, and they're showing her outfits behind the scenes, and when in all different ones, there's like a dozen.
Yeah.
There's like a dozen. They hit Latino, black, white, heavy, skinny, tall, short, people that like sports, people that don't like sport. It is absolutely insane. And that latest one just scared the pants off of me. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I ordered some Jardiance, and the rest is history, Mario Brothers. Wow. I think there was some legislation they were talking about getting rid of advertising for medicine. In med school today, there are two things that they're teaching. It's really one thing. It's kind of two things combined into one, that they're teaching students, that they're teaching future doctors. How do you deal with, but I saw on the internet, Google said, I saw the commercial, shouldn't I be taking Jardiance? That. How to deal with that? Because I'd be like, you know, that Boogie Nights line where the girl's on the ground, drug ODing, and the guy's like, yeah, I think I got some bad stuff. Like, oh, really, doctor? Thank you, doctor. Where the colonel's like, thank you, doctor. You know, that's what I would be saying to those. If I'm the doctor, oh, thank you, doctor. Where did you get your medical degree? I mean, the patient would be leaving my office. Like, Dr. Johnson was such a jerk. I suggested, I heard it on Google or read it on the internet, or, you know, that is like a major thing right now in med school. I would have no problem with, you know, medicine being advertised going away. 86ing medical advertising. I don't even understand it. It's like you're letting the drug companies push their drug, not the doctors or the, you know, it's unreal. Where the doctors are already indirectly doing it. Some hot blonde med medical salespersons pushing the drugs on the doctor. And the doctor's like, he signs things. He's not even looking at the sheet. She's selling him anything. I knew this guy used to buy like Gambit because the hot blonde sales girl. That's what he told me, literally. Because of the hot blonde sales girl. How can I tell her no? I'm like, no.
That's so funny. I was just before I came in watching an episode of Bar Rescue, and John Taffer was like scolding a guy because some blonde came in and like made him give away a bunch of free alcohol.
Yeah, John Taffer. Were John Taffer's eyes bugging out of his head by any chance?
Yes.
He's a bar expert. He saved so many bars around the country. I love when the show ends and at the end they're like, 6 weeks later, they got rid of the concept and went back to what they were doing before. It's like, okay, they just took the free stuff and ran. Now, the original show, like, go watch the first few years. They change the bar.
Oh, yeah.
They invest, $100,000 in the bar. Now it's like 10 grand.
It became more about the show.
Oh, well, they paint the walls. They change the tables. They get a bunch of free crap from some local companies that they mention at the end. But it isn't like the 6-figure,
Yeah, that one skull themed bar on Bourbon though, I think is still going strong. The one with like the shot chair or whatever. I could look it up as we speak, but there was one bar that he stayed.
I have some personal
Bourbon.
experience with this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You've been in the shot chair? Okay.
No.
Okay.
I signed off on Bar Rescue, handling a bar that I was in control of.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
I was married, and the family I was married to owned the bar, TJ Quills on Maple Street.
No way.
Yeah.
Really? I used to go there all the
And
time. Yeah.
Bar Rescue came in and wanted to do a show. And Bar Rescue's so full of crap. Remind me to tell the Larry Matson story after this. All right.
Okay. Larry Matson, make a note. Got you.
Bar Rescue comes in. She's like, yeah, we just want to, improve the bar, just all that. The whole concept of the show was letting in people underage, not checking IDs. I'm like, guys, are y'all kidding me? We didn't sign off on this. You're going to wreck the bar. I don't need the PD coming down here. First off, it's false. We have a guy who bounces and checks the IDs at the bar. No, I'm talking when I was running. I can't tell you TJ Quill's history. I was in there when I was 16 when I was a kid.
That's what I was about to say.
Hillary's across the street.
All right,
I mean, all of them. Are you kidding? Fat Harry's, the boot,
Long as
3
we
for
got
1.
that
All right. Yeah.
All right,
I'm talking about when I ran it.
Proceed.
We had a
All
dude
right.
in the front. I was running it legitimately. I hated it.
Yeah.
I helped run the bar. My former wife and I ran it. It sucked. Video poker. That was like the only thing that kept us alive. Anytime I won there, my former wife won there, beer, alcohol, money was walking out. It's a nightmare. Anyway, Bar Rescue comes in. That's the crap they pull. They had the tent set up, all the, like in the front. If you look at TJ Quills in the front, there's like this garden with these bricks. They literally threw the plants in there with didn't even plant them, and then stacked the bricks. Like the day Bar Rescue left, I hired a labor guy who put concrete down to hold the bricks down and brought in a bunch of dirt and planted the plants. It was Hollywood to the hill. And they barely did any changes, but it was more of a nightmare than anything else. But yeah, I met all those losers from that group, and they're just all full of crap.
Yeah.
It's all Hollywood BS. And the whole concept was a fake one, that TJ Quills wasn't checking IDs, and everyone they were you can watch the episode. It still exists. It runs every now and then. I might even be in it in like the background.
Yeah.
I'm in there with my arms folded going, you guys are insane.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, they made up a concept. Let's say let's pretend they're letting in underage drinkers. Like, we're not. And I was like, and I was talking to the producer, wasn't even listening to me,
Of course not.
And I remember just telling the family, that I was my former wife and family was like, we'll get to this. It's going to be fine.
Man.
All this is BS. We'll just take the upgrades and move on.
That's crazy that you had personal antidote with them.
No, it's a joke.
Most business owners will probably say exactly like what you said. People that have worked with them, but it's still good background, Father.
No. I land on it every now and then and watch for about 10 minutes. But the thing about it is, it's sort of like Jerry Springer's show. It's sort of like Hoarders. It's going for, hey, Mario, you're better than these people.
Exactly.
It's sort of like that. You wouldn't be running the bar like this, Mario. You're better than these people. It's supposed to make you feel better, like you don't have these people's problems, kind of.
Exactly. People drinking, taking shots at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday.
No, exactly. What do you think? John Taffer's coming in for 3 days and they're going to go back to their old habits?
Yeah.
That's why in 6 weeks they got rid of the sign and went back to the old thing,
Oh,
man. The Larry Matson story is Larry Matson, old play-by-play voice, Saints, did television, sports locally. Times-Picayune wants to do a story on him. And Larry's like, great, So Larry basically was like an expose on Larry. That's what Larry's understanding was. So they interview Larry for like 2 hours. A few weeks later, the article comes out, and it's got Larry Matson and it's got Frank Gifford, and it says something about local sports person's dream is to be the voice of Monday Night Football. And literally, Larry, I talked to him after. He's like, they must have asked me 50 questions. The last question was, would you ever like to be the voice of Monday Night Football? And I was like, and Larry said, yeah, of course, I'd love to be. That would be a great thing. Who wouldn't want to be that? It's a dream of any sportscaster to, be the play-by-play voice of Monday Night Football on ABC. If you do play-by-play for football, of course. That's all he said. That quote was like split up 3 ways, and the whole story was Larry's dream to be the Monday night guy like Frank Gifford. Larry's like, that wasn't what the story was about at all. That wasn't what I was told it was about. I never heard about Frank Gifford in Monday Night Football until the last question. And it wasn't, no one brought up Frank Gifford, and it's going to be a comparison or any of that. So, Bar Rescue comes in, and it's all about fake IDs or underage, just making up a show,
Yup. And Spirits on Bourbon was the other bar, by the way. Usually it used to be Turtle Bay, now Spirits on Bourbon.
Yeah, that just tourist trap only. It's like there's no fixing that.
No, yeah.
It's just, it's I don't know what bars do well or what bars do. The bars I think that do poorly on bourbon just aren't, serving people quickly or unorganized. That, I mean, people they don't give a crap. They're going in, getting a drink, and leaving.
It's Bourbon Street.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they'll pay a little bit
There's
extra
no
for
regulars at those bars, really, except a
Nah.
few people.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you laughing at, Mario Brothers?
I'm laughing that I'm remembering this episode. A knock on the bar was that they had a drink that was a ripoff of the Hurricane. It was a turtle, and now it's called something other than a turtle, but it's still a ripoff of the Hurricane.
Oh, it's a hand grenade.
Or a hand grenade. Sorry, not
the hand. Well, the hand grenade was the ripoff of the Hurricane, but that's at Tropical Isle.
Yes, which is still standing.
They didn't do that. Bar Rescue didn't do Tropical Isle.
No, they didn't do Tropical Isle. They did this other
the Turtle
beer.
Bay crab. It's the place that changes names all the time. There was
Exactly.
something before Turtle Bay.
Yeah, it was.
I forgot what it was.
Point is that they were ripping off the hand grenade then. They're still ripping off the hand grenade. It's just called something different in a different cup.
Yeah. Anyway. Corey Johnson with you. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx at the controls. 766-9480. If you have a story or anecdote like we were just telling, we'd love to hear from you. Which commercial scares the hell out of you? These Jardiance commercials, like they're like 10 different ones now. Like, we've got the winning concept, we've got the winning song. Let's just change up the theme and just bringing in all kind of weird, different people doing weird, crazy stuff. And what's the commercial with, like, it might be Jardiance or Ozempic or something, where like everybody's like, marching in a parade, and like dude's like working on his car with some other dude. He's like, hey, gotta go now. Why didn't the guy who's working with, we're in the middle of fixing the car. I don't care your Ozempic parade, dude. Get back here. The chick's in the middle of painting a picture. She goes and walks out there. All different people, all different walks of life. Black, white, young, old, gay, straight, male, female. Anyway, yeah, these creepy drug commercials with these weird themes, and like it ain't even Mayberry in the 50s. It's like America that doesn't. It's like an America that exists like some foreign country would be, portraying us. It's insane. Let's get rid of those. No, there was some legislation. I forgot. I don't think it was Kennedy saying it. I mean, and obviously he can't put up any legislation, but I think there was some senator or House rep in DC like banning advertising for meds, or maybe it was in Louisiana where they were going to do it, because there are some states where I don't think meds can be advertised in those states. Yeah, I'd have no problem with med advertising going away, and I'd have no problem with injury attorneys not being able to advertise. I think the world would be a much better place. Corey Johnson with you.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Word is one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole-Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future. At the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Not an FM disc jockey, not a former politician, Corey Johnson.
You're not the DJ. You're a raconteur. You're a storyteller. You're a griot.
It's true. Doing a lot of storytelling today on this August Monday afternoon in New Orleans. Audubon gutters. Got rain on the forecast like every day for the foreseeable future. May or may not get it. It's just those, thunder showers that pop up. Back in October, Audubon Gutters put gutters on my house. So I never have to worry about that again. They featured the leaf guard system, so I'll never have to pay someone to get on a ladder and clean my gutters. They've been doing it for 35 years, and it's all they do, gutters. That's it. You need windows or some, hey, Corey, I need some gutter work, but they need to fix the soffit. They need to replace a window that's broken. I got a leaky roof. They can do that, right? Nope. They don't do paint. They don't do roofs. They don't do siding. They don't do windows. All they do are gutters. If you need gutters for your home or business, Audubon Gutters. Why would you go anywhere else? AudubonGutters.com. AudubonGutters.com. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Yeah, you right. Tomorrow, the French Quarter trash wars come to an end. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, Henry Consulting versus the New Orleans City Council. At stake, the French Quarter trash contract. At the least, IV waste through December. At the worst, Henry Consulting for 7 or 8 years. And I'm not dogging Henry Consulting. I just think IV waste should finish through December, and January 2026 trash contract will be out there for bid, and Henry Consulting or IV waste or anyone can go after it or choose not to. But the way this thing's gone, and I don't feel like going through the whole thing again, no, I think that's the fair way for everyone involved, including Henry Consulting. They didn't have their you-know-what together when it mattered most. Yeah, this Times-Picayune story over the weekend, I found it very intriguing. Great story about a teacher that got, fired after Katrina like everybody else. It was startling, came back, started teaching again, and the charter school system was in it the last 20 years. I was like, great, what a great story, exactly what I was talking about. Instead, the story's titled, NOLA Educator Recalls Gut Punch of Teacher Firings After Katrina. There's very little of the gut punch. Like when I saw that title, I was like, oh boy, some hyper woke article, how could you fire the teachers, blah, 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 blah. Thank God they fired the teachers because there's no other way to fire them. Civil service wouldn't let you just, hey, this system's corrupt, this system's broken. We're going to fire everyone, start from scratch. The people that are legit, we're going to rehire. The people that aren't going to get rehired. People would have freaked out, politics involved, you have an agenda, blah, 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 blah. Katrina hits, wrecks the city. There are no schools. There's no population. There's nothing to teach. There's no one there. There's no choice. It just went away. Thank God. It's like the projects. Another silver lining from Katrina. Thank God. And shockingly, the city leaders, black and white, did it right. They did it the only way possible. They got with the people that lived in the projects and said, how do we make this better? And everybody agreed, and it was torn down, and they redid it. And it was a win-win-win for everybody. Teachers, same deal. The Orleans Parish Public School System was sinful. It was pathetic. It was just corrupt, wasn't teaching kids. The opposite. All these children in New Orleans getting sold out by a crappy system where people were more interested in making money, stealing from the system, teachers not teaching, the whole deal. Were there some good teachers? Were there some good schools? Yeah, a few, but the vast majority were not. And it was obvious. And it was terrible. So, no, one of the silver linings was this, and it's a good read, this story. The title's terrible. It should be about, folks that pulled themselves up by their own bootstraps. A guy who was a teacher. That was his vocation, his life. Just as I predicted, went right back into the Orleans Parish Public School System as a teacher because that's what he does. No, it's about hope. The title makes it look like, some hyper woke leaning angle about the wrong that was done. There was no wrong done. It was the only choice, and it was actually a right. It was a positive. The wrong was that painfully sinful system that a lot of you folks wanted to retain because it was your livelihood, your job. Didn't want to get things shaken up. It's Katrina. Everybody got stuff shaken up. Everybody. Except a very, very few affluent or wealthy few. Everybody else's world got crushed. I had a buddy who lived in Lakeview, had 2 feet of water in his house. On the second floor, 2 feet of water. The whole first floor is submerged. He lost everything. Everything. People lost lives, 1,500 dead. No, I have no sympathy or empathy or, boy, I feel sorry for these school teachers. They're just like everybody else. Got to settle somewhere else, figure things out. Are you going to do what you used to do? Something else coming back to New Orleans, not coming back, all of that. No free ride. You had the free ride. You had the free ride up to Katrina. Took advantage of the system. No, thank God. One of the true silver linings. But a very good read nonetheless, even though the title, NOLA Educator Recalls Gut Punch of Teacher Firings After Katrina. That was 5 or 10%, literally at most 10% of that article. I read the article, was like, wow, this guy's, Pulled himself up by his own bootstraps, got back into what he loved to do, and got the job done. No, check it out. It's at NOLA.com. Sheriff Susan Hudson has raised $155. Sheriff Susan Hudson has raised $155. I'm not kidding you. She has $715 total in her campaign war chest. Michelle Woodfork has $128,000. Edwin Shorty has $34,000. Incumbent Sheriff Susan Hudson has $715. She's raised $155. Yeah, when you have 10 people break from the jail, one still out there. Khalil Bryant released accidentally. He's like a violent criminal. Yeah, that sounds about right. Raising about $155. I'd like to know the folks that gave her $155. What's wrong with you folks? Hey, Lebanon's Cafe tonight for dinner. They're open till 9:30. I was there yesterday with my mom and brother for lunch. My mom got lamb chops. I got chicken shawarma. My brother got chicken shish kebab, tabbouleh, baba ganoush, hummus, all kind of good sides, that great pita bread. Blue Boy loves his Lebanon's Cafe. Blue Boy, you've had Lebanon's Cafe. You even eat the tabbouleh. It's crazy. And you love the hashwi, the stuff that's inside the fried football kibbe, like the Lebanese meat pie. They're open throughout the day, 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till, 9:30 at night. Tonight for dinner. Do it right. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton and Jeanette by the streetcar barn. Stick around.
Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's called more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday. 5 o'clock power hour coming your way. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Are there any commercials out there that scare the hell out of you? These Jardians commercials with there must be 10 different ones now with the same song, just different people singing, different kind of theme. Scary as hell to me. Keep seeing these different ones for Jardians. I would have no problem with medical, pharmaceuticals, those commercials being banned. Like one of the major things they're teaching in med school today that they used to not have to teach in the past, when you get a patient that comes in and says, well, Google said, the internet said, I was watching TV, shouldn't I be taking Jardians for this? Could Jardians help? I mean, I wouldn't be a good doctor today because I'd be telling my patient, oh, where did you get your medical degree? Why are you coming to me? Use the internet and use TV and take the pills and call it a day. Probably someone you can call in and maybe even get the medicine over online. Who knows? Yeah, I would not be a good doctor. Patients would be like, God, Dr. Johnson was so rude. We're not going back to him. No, the number one, not the number one thing. One of the big things they're teaching in med school today that they used to not teach, how to deal with your patients when they say stuff, and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen a lot. The internet said, Google said, on TV, I saw a medicine that could help my condition. Should I be taking that? And doctors having to deal with that. No, there's legislation either statewide or Fed level, like banning advertising for pharmaceuticals. I don't get it. I don't get why we're advertising pharmaceuticals. And boy, I'd have no problem with injury attorneys not being able to advertise at all. At the very least, very, very, very restricted. Like, have some honor, integrity. Act like you're an attorney, not somebody who's getting me a check and encouraging me to sue. We've gone through it before. The ads encourage people to sue. And Tim Temple, the insurance commissioner for the state of Louisiana, was on this very program about 2 months ago. He says it sends a message to a lot of people that you need to hire an attorney if you want to get a claim. Like if you have to claim, if you have an insurance claim with the insurance company, obviously, you have to hire an attorney to get it done right. That's what these ads push. Indirectly, they don't say that. They never say you have to hire an attorney, and they never say you can't do it on your own, but they encourage you to get an attorney. And they act like the insurance company is going to screw you and we're going to get you the money that you deserve. I'd like to know, honestly, like someone should do a rundown on folks that get what the settlement was that they were going to get before the attorney and after. Because the attorneys take 40% of the settlement. You get $1, you're walking with 60 cents, and they're getting 40 cents. It's like the what are those two? What are those morons? The ones go for your fours or whatever.
Dudley DeBose,
Yeah, those guys, like, they're like the no fee guarantee. Every attorney has a no fee guarantee. You don't get paid unless they don't get paid unless you do. Unless you do. No fee guarantee, just a bunch of crap. It's the lowest common denominator. And that these people are rich and wealthy because of it. So yeah, advertising attorneys, I'd have no problem with those billboard, radio, television ads going bye-bye. If they were legitimate commercials, like I would run Greg DeLeo commercials on this show, like the Legal Minute he used to run. It's nothing about sue somebody and I'll get you a check. That's it. You know, I there's a few attorneys I'd run. I kind of like that idiot who makes fun of the I forgot his name.
Yeah, your boy with the mullet. I forget his name too.
Yeah, with the beard and the mustache. He comes off the plane.
Yeah.
I gotta settle the suit because I've already spent the money.
Is that Greg DeLeo?
No. That's Greg DeLeo's the legitimate one. It's like Gredenberg or Grevenberg or something.
I'm tripping.
The dude who acts like he's, high roller, shows the Rolex watch. Yes. He's shaking the champagne. He's like, I got no choice but to win your case. I've already spent the money. He's acting like he's a legitimate attorney, I guess, but he's totally making fun of all the hack advertisers. No, it's, there it is.
Mike Eggenberg. Yeah.
He's a trip.
Yeah.
Can you play some of that? Play that right there. Is the audio going on that?
It might be complicated with like this screen versus this screen.
I don't think. Let's try it.
It would be playing right now.
Oh, it'd be playing. I got you.
Yeah. So might be audio.
That's him coming off the jet with the fur coat.
Yes.
Popping the champagne.
Yeah, giving the play-by-play.
Showing the Rolex watch. The up close. He's like
fur jacket.
I mean, it's ridiculous, but why is it? And he's making fun of all the other idiots out there. I mean, that's all it is.
He's got his own haters too, but yeah.
No, he definitely does. I had one on last week on the program who was talking about him indirectly without mentioning his name. No, the lawyer, attorney, injury attorney commercials and medicine, pharmaceuticals. Yeah, I'd like to see those go away. What do you say? 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Tomorrow, the French Quarter trash wars come to an end. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, Henry Consulting versus the city of New Orleans. The Fourth Circuit will make a decision. If they side with Henry Consulting, Mayor LaToya Cantrell will immediately cancel the Ivy Waste trash contract that she signed last week through December. She'll cancel it immediately. As quickly as Ivy Waste can transition out, which could be just a few days. It might be a week. It might be 30-day notice in the contract. I do not know. It could be immediately. As soon as Ivy Waste transitions out of their contract, Henry Consulting will take over. Henry Consulting, in theory, could be cleaning the French Quarter Wednesday or Thursday of this week. Tomorrow, the Fourth Circuit's going to either rule in favor of Henry Consulting or rule in favor of the city council. The whole lawsuit is the council did not sign off on Henry's Consulting's contract that the mayor approved. 7 years, $73 million. The council says we have to vote on that. Just because the mayor signed it doesn't mean it's automatic. Anything over $1 million annually, the council has to vote on that. The mayor says not in this case. And so does Troy Henry with Henry Consulting. We'll see what a Fourth Circuit judge says tomorrow. So that's the whole lawsuit. The council saying we have to sign off on any contract over $1 million, and they didn't. Henry suing the council, saying I rightfully won this contract and it isn't necessary for you to sign off on it. The mayor already has. The Fourth Circuit will decide that. So if they decide in favor of Henry, Mayor LaToya Cantrell immediately cancels Ivy Waste. Not only does Troy Henry basically immediately take over cleaning the French Quarter, it'll be for 7 years and $73 million. That'll be decided tomorrow. If the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals goes with the city of New Orleans, IV Waste will continue cleaning the quarter through December. And then in January of 2026, the city will award another trash contract. Here's the crazy part. Mayor LaToya Cantrell would be able to pick that person, but the council would have to vote on it. So I'm assuming the council would veto or not pass the mayor's selection and leave it to the future mayor to have that long-term deal, and maybe they would extend IV Waste deal into like January or February of next year and then get a new trash hauler. Now, if you remember, the mayor vetoed the city council's proposed ordinance last week for the city attorney. The council just wants the city attorney to work for the city, equal to the mayor, equal to the council, doesn't take sides for either one. The mayor just can't fire the city attorney. The mayor vetoed that. So the mayor has the right to veto it. The council can override her veto, which they probably will this week. So I think the same deal would happen with the trash contract. The mayor would be hell-bent on giving her preference, her choice, the future deal as she's leaving office. And I think the council would just not sign off on it. Tomorrow's a big day for Henry Consulting, for IV Waste, but it's a really big day for French Quarter residents and business owners and anyone in the metro that cares about the city. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals will decide Henry Consulting versus the New Orleans City Council. Sheriff Susan Hudson has raised a whopping $155 this last fundraising period. Michelle Woodfork has $128,000 on hand. Edwin Shorty has $35,000 on hand. Sheriff Susan Hudson, with her $155 raised, has a whopping $715. By the way, her sentencing for contempt of court has been temporarily suspended, delayed. How is Susan? Oh, and that contempt of court was not bringing her inmates that were due in court to court over and over again. It's mind-blowing. The jailbreak, Khalil Bryant, mistakenly released. I mean, how is Susan Hudson still in this race? What is wrong with Susan Hudson? My God. Hey, every day this program on radio, on television, on YouTube. Yeah, click to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Corey Johnson, The Neutral Ground. Brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra, and brought to you by Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood, your commercial truck, van, SUV dealership. Corey Johnson with you till 6.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-JC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future.
At the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Roll call.
Kenner, Metairie, Harahan, River Ridge, Algiers, Gretna, Harvey, Terrytown, West Wego. We got you covered.
Mentioned it on Friday. Yesterday, August 3rd, 50 years, the Louisiana Superdome, 50th birthday of the Louisiana Superdome. It opened August 3rd, 1975. I forget what the first event was. It wasn't Saints Oilers. There was something else, either a concert or some high school. I don't know what high school would be on August 3rd. It couldn't be a jamboree.
Wow. So according to Google, the first ever event at the Superdome was an open house featuring a concert with the Allman Brothers Band.
And Marshall Tucker?
And the Marshall Tucker.
That's not true, though, because if you look at the ticket stub of that,
Yeah.
as I recall, it's like August 30th or something like that.
And that's why you can't count on AI all the time.
Well, no, I mean, seriously, see if they show the ticket stub on that.
I'm trying to see. Hold up. Superdome opens. This is like a timeline from the official website.
Yeah, nice.
First annual Sugar.
Yeah, that was December. It opened in August.
Yeah.
Of 75. No, first Bayou Classic was in 75 in the Dome. First Sugar Bowl in the Dome was 75.
Yep.
But a lot of folks say that Saints Oilers preseason game was the first event, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. And it wasn't that concert, because I'm telling you, that concert was like the end of the month.
Yeah.
The concert was like the 31st of August. Anyway. But it couldn't have been a high school jamboree because it's August 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
It's too early for that.
Yeah.
But I forget what it was. And it wasn't the open house. It was like some event where you paid for the ticket to go. But it was a concert. But I don't think it was Allman Brothers and Marshall Tucker.
Okay.
I don't know. I might be wrong. Maybe someone else knows. 766-9480. What was the first event at the Superdome? 766-9480. Yeah, someone might remember. I remember my first day ever going in the Dome when I was like 10 or 12 years old, walking out of that portal at the terrace level. I was like, I remember like it was yesterday. I was just like jaw dropping. As a child, especially. I was like, so big, just so big. Mario Brothers, I'm one of the few people that have been on the roof of the Superdome, the 10-acre roof, popped out the hatch, out on the roof, walking around up there.
Nice.
Yep.
That must have been something.
Well, what's crazy is when you're right above the 50-yard line, that like kind of walkway that's like, I guess, like an octagon up top.
I know what you're talking about.
It's just like a grid. You can see straight through it.
Mm-hmm.
So the roof of the dome's 27 stories. I guess that's about 25, 26 stories up. You're looking straight through a hollow metal grid. Now, here's the crazy part. I know a weld is much stronger than a bolt, but they have like bolt holes throughout this thing and no bolts, just welds holding it all together, you know? But I'm just like, my God, you think you'd stick a bolt in that hole? But, you know, I was looking down, but it's funny, like you come out of the roof where you're on like a catwalk, but there's a bottom underneath you. Then you pop out where there's no bottom. So it's just 25 stories straight through this grid you can see through, this metal grid you're walking on. I'm clinching the rail. Let me put it this way. I had sunglasses in my pocket. When I got on the dome roof to put them on, I had snapped them in half without even knowing. Like I squeezed my arm or I clinched them in my pocket, something, because I was kind of not pooping in my pants, but I was like, man, this is high. I was clinching. And then you go up a ladder and you pop out the roof of the dome. This is what's scary about being a human. You get used to that height after a while. Like when we came back down, I wasn't nearly as scared. It was very easy, Yeah, that's what sucks. You as a human, you will get used to that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get used to heights. I want to be scared of heights and stay away from them.
Yeah. Sounds scary.
Anyway, no, going on the dome roof was pretty cool, but it just drops off dramatically. Like I don't think you could just walk down to that gutter. I think you'd end up rolling and tumbling into it. And you'd have to be very, like low to stay on the roof. I don't think you could just walk down. I think you need a rope. But anyway, 10 acres. The Superdome roof is 10 acres. We just moseyed around the top up at the peak, but it was pretty cool. That's one. It's like I throw it in scuba diving and skydiving that I've done. I'm like, I've been on the dome roof. It's like I put it in that category, literally. Like a rarity, I'd say 99% of the population. I mean, not that scuba diving's rare, but I'd say 99% of the population is not scuba dived.
No, like you said, one of the few.
I'd say even less has jumped out of a plane.
Yeah.
Not
many people can say they've done that. So that's cool.
Exactly. Been there, done that. And then at LSU, there was Brenda Smith. Been there, done that. Not many people can say that. Brenda Smith was smoking. She was hot. I'm making up the Brenda Smith part, Mario Brothers. That was a joke. 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Yeah, you're right. Love to hear from you. Hey, which commercial scares the hell out of you? These Jardiance commercials, all these different ones. There must be like 10 or a dozen different ones. Different singers, different actors. The theme is scary. The people in them is scary. All of it's scary. That commercial, I don't think it's Jardiance. It's something about losing weight or getting my whatever LCD1 down, whatever the hell it is, where they're like marching in the street and then people are doing their everyday stuff and they stop doing it to go join the people that are taking the drug with them. It's like a dude working on a car, a girl painting pictures. It's just weird crap. There's nothing normal about it. I think it's supposed to be a little freaky, Mario Brothers. It's supposed to make you a little freaked out. One of the big things that they're teaching in medical school to doctors, how to deal with patients that are like, shouldn't I be taking Jardiance? I saw Jardiance. They had a drug on TV. I Googled it. I was on the internet and it said I should do this. I'd be a terrible doctor today. I'd be like, oh, thank you, doctor. Where'd you get your degree from? And the patient would be looking at me like, who's this jerk? I'm like, I'm the jerk. You come to me for help and you're telling me how I what drugs I should give you and how I should take care of you. I'm the doctor. No, so they're teaching doctors in medical school. You got to be able to deal with patients that are going to tell you they saw it on the internet, they Googled it, or they saw the TV commercial and why aren't you prescribing this drug for me? I would have no problem with pharmaceuticals banned from advertising. And I'd have no problem with injury attorneys banned from advertising. The world would be a better place. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Mayor LaToya Cantrell on another junket. Nah, I don't know where she is. I doubt she's in town, and that's probably a good thing. Tomorrow, the French Quarter trash wars come to an end, come to a head. We'll know a whole hell of a lot more. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in the Henry Consulting versus the New Orleans City Council. The council did not sign off on the Henry Consulting contract. The council says any contract over $1 million a year, we have to vote on it and sign off on it. Henry Consulting and the mayor say that's not true, especially for this trash contract. So Henry Consulting is suing the city, so he can get the contract. If the Fourth Circuit rules in favor of Henry Consulting, the mayor will cancel the Ivy Waste contract. She just extended last week through December. She'll cancel it immediately, and Ivy Waste will take over as soon as Henry Consulting will take over as soon as Ivy Waste can transition out. That could be Wednesday of this week or Thursday or Friday of this week. If the Fourth Circuit tomorrow rules in favor of Henry Consulting. If the Fourth Circuit rules in favor of the city council, Ivy Waste will continue cleaning the quarter till December, and then a new bid will go out for January 2026 and beyond trash pickup. So tomorrow is a big day for the French Quarter trash pickup. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals will make that decision tomorrow. Hey, Brett Martell's going to join us in about 10 minutes. Another Martell Monday. The USA Today coaches poll. Can I safely say that's what it is, Mario Brothers? It's still kind of brought to you by USA, and it's coaches that vote on it, right?
Yes.
But it got another name, though, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
I can't keep up with it.
It's still the coaches poll, man.
It's the AP and the USA Today coaches poll.
Yes.
We'll find out from Brett when the AP preseason poll comes out.
Yeah, still USA.
What's the official name of it?
It still says USA Today.
Yeah, but there's an official name.
Oh, okay. Never
And
mind.
it ain't USA Today coaches poll.
Let's see. US LBM coaches poll.
Isn't that ridiculous? What does all that stand for? Does the paragraph tell you what the US LBM?
No, it's just some company that builds materials, that builds communities. That's all it
Oh,
says.
they sponsored the poll.
Yes.
They sponsored, so it could be the, Chick-fil-A coaches poll.
Exactly.
So it's still the USA Today coaches
It's the
poll.
USA Today. US
That's what we're going with, like
LBM
Candlestick Park, not 3Com.
Yes. Like I was just in Denver, and it's Mile High Field by whatever brand.
Yeah.
It's like that.
That's what it should be. You never want to get rid of the Mile High.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. The USA Today preseason coaches poll is out. Texas and New Orleans' own Arch Manning leading the way. They're number 1. LSU, number 9. Tulane in at 36 receiving votes. They'd be the 36th ranked team. Mario Brothers, I think Texas is loaded. They're like Georgia or Alabama. They've got deep offensive, defensive lines.
Yes.
I don't want to say the Arch Manning hype is premature, but really haven't seen a lot. Yet this guy's already like being appointed, anointed as the best college quarterback, and he very well may be.
Yup.
I just think it's a little premature.
I hear you, but he's embraced it. Like he could.
Oh, no, he's cool about it. He's low key.
Yeah, it's exactly what he wants. And honestly, in a world where he does good, I would kind of a hot take, but I wouldn't be shocked if he came back for another year.
Oh, I don't think he's going out after this year.
Yeah,
I think he's going to play 2 years.
Even if he's projected to be like a top 5
it doesn't
pick.
matter. He will be projected to be a top 5 pick.
Yeah, and he hasn't
He's
accepted.
making millions of dollars right now.
Yep, this is kind of by plan for the Manning, so we'll see if it works out for them.
One thing a little different. He graduated in December, not in May, enrolled early. That's sort of not anti-Manning, but different for them.
For sure.
And then if you remember in the beginning, not that the Mannings ever said it, it's like, oh, he's not going to do any NIL. He makes millions of dollars a year, Arch Manning. It's like, how do you pass up that money?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no guarantees he's going to be an NFL quarterback. How do you pass up this money? I think he's going to be one. I think he's going to have a great college season, but take the moolah and run.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Changing talk radio in New Orleans for the better. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground. Every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday afternoon. Brett Martell, a Martell Monday a few moments away. Brett's been with the Associated Press for nearly 30 years. Very few people. I mean, think about that today in 2025. Not many people have had the same gig for 30 years. I mean, just people change, people get fired, people get let go, businesses change, all kind of different stuff going on. You don't see that too often, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx.
No, not at all. I've barely been alive 30 years.
Exactly. Exactly.
Nah, Brett's a legend.
Yep. Got a good one lined up for you. 5 o'clock power hour. Tomorrow, the French Quarter trash wars come to an end. The Fourth Circuit's going to either side with Henry Consulting or with the city council. It'll either be Henry Consulting cleaning up or IV Waste. Pretty much. That's it. It'll be decided tomorrow. Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals ruling on Henry Consulting versus the New Orleans City Council. The Times-Picayune, this is worth reading. The title's terrible. The title drew me to the article. I mean, maybe that was the point. When I saw the headline, I was like, boy, this hyper woke angle. Can't believe this is being brought up. NOLA educator recalls gut punch of teacher firings after Katrina. Now, you think it would just be like some, boy, the city was wrong. How could they let go 8,000 plus teachers? They wrecked the school system, blah, blah, blah. Now they got this charter system, da, 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 da. That's what I thought it was going to be about. Because there are some old school folks living in yesteryear that are hyper woke, lunatic left, that they want the old Orleans Parish public school system pre-Katrina back. Now, anyone that was around back then, I'm not exaggerating or embellishing or lying. I'm telling you the truth. That school system for decades was one of the worst, if not the worst, in the entire country. It was rife with corruption and partisan politics and bad teachers, bad principals, bad janitors, horrible school buildings. Post-Katrina, $2 billion with a B in brand new school buildings and renovated buildings all over Orleans Parish alone. No city, municipality in American history has spent that much money that quickly on that many brand new school buildings for a city. So we went from crappy old buildings that haven't been kept up to state-of-the-art school buildings. And then we got rid of 8,000 employees. And as time went on, the legitimate people of the 8,000 that were old school teachers, old principals, bus drivers, janitors that cared about kids, that was their life, educators, directly or indirectly, influencing children, that was their vocation. They got back in the system, pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, got back in it. The losers, the jokers that were in it for a paycheck, that didn't give a crap, part of the old corrupt system, they're gone. They're doing something else now. So now I always will say this, a silver lining from Katrina, a beautiful silver lining, being able to dismantle the Orleans Parish public school system and being able to literally fire 86, get rid of 8,000 plus employees, gone overnight, gone. As it should have been, because that's the real world. New Orleans was crushed. There were no people here. There was no population. There were no schools. How could you have a school system paying teachers? No tax base, no nothing. So like everybody else in the world, you don't get this civil service guaranteed job where you have to rape or murder someone to get fired. There's no guarantees in life. Welcome to reality. Welcome to reality. So no, thank God, the Orleans Parish public school system pre-Katrina, as we knew, ceased to exist. The legitimate people came back in, new people joined. You got an all-charter school system. Is it perfect? No. But we're actually educating kids. We don't have the worst school system in America anymore. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. We're in the middle now. Do we need a lot more improvement? Yeah, we should strive to have the best school system in America. But boy, it's viable now, and it needs improvement. It only can get better. But geez and Pete's, it was pathetic before. It was criminal. It was dysfunctional, broken, not educating kids. Generation after generation, kids not being able to read and write properly. So anyone who's an advocate for the old Orleans Parish public school system and is anti-charter and all that, yeah, don't even waste time listening. Seriously. No, the title of the Times-Picayune article, NOLA educator recalls gut punch of teacher firings after Katrina, has about 5%, 10% tops of what the article's about. The article's actually about a guy who, what I'm talking about, that was his vocation, his job, what he did for a living. So he came back into that, and he was part of the school system for 20 years and retired. Of course, it was a gut punch. Katrina was a gut punch. The school system going bye-bye, everybody had to deal with that. What's the word with Brett Martell, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx?
I think the Lynx have him right now. He did not answer the phone.
Oh, boy, call him back.
All right. I got you.
Oh, you're talking about City Park Golf Course where Brett could be playing golf this afternoon. We're exposing Brett's life. Yeah, I want to talk to Brett about the USA Today preseason coaches poll and find out when the AP comes out. Texas number 1, New Orleans' own Arch Manning leading the way. LSU number 9. Yeah, you're right, Tigers. Tulane number 36. Win a few games, and Tulane will be slipping in that top 25. Gotta like that. This is crazy. I mean, how is Sheriff Susan Hudson even in this race anymore? 10 inmates escape, 1 still at large. I'm telling you, my vibe is Derek Groves is dressed as a woman. I'm sticking with that, Mario Brothers. He has effeminate features. You put a bonnet on him and some makeup, he's a woman.
I think it's feasible, man.
Hey, I like your attitude.
We'll see.
All the other dudes, ain't nothing feminine looking about them.
No.
They couldn't pull it off. But I'm telling you, Groves could put on some eyeliner, some makeup on his face, put a bonnet on and a dress, some little falsies in there, stick some tennis balls up top, and no one would think any different. And it's 2025, transgender, all that. You're going to go question him about it?
Exactly. Nah.
So I think Derek Groves is dressed as a woman. That's my take. They're going to bust him in Gert Town in a dress.
Yes.
In a dress.
Mrs. Doubtfire, the jail version.
Exactly.
Such a good movie script. If that really did happen, Corey, if your conspiracy comes true, like that is, you got to write that movie. You have to. It could be a comedy, it could be a drama, but that's a movie.
Be disappointing. Khalil Bryant, the inmate who was mistakenly released, who's a violent criminal. I mean, how is Susan Hudson still in this race? Her fundraising says it all. Last fundraising period, she raised $155. $155. She's got $715 total in her campaign war chest. Michelle Woodfork, $128,000. Edwin Shorty, $34,000. I think it'll be pretty much football season, September, like another month. Regular season LSU, Tulane, and Saints games before we see sheriff advertising. And I don't think Susan Hudson had $715 raised $155. You can't buy a single TV spot in town. I don't know, maybe one that runs in 2 a.m. Crazy. How is she in the race with, I mean, I know why she's in the race, because she just doesn't give a crap. Doesn't have any honor or pride or self-respect. Doesn't have any introspection, living in denial. But boy, the fundraising, $155. I mean, that's like what the kid running for SGA president at Brother Martin raised in the last, period. $155. Wow. Which commercial scares the hell out of you? I'm going with the Jardians commercials just because the song is the same. They've got about 10 or 12 different variations of it with different creepy actors doing creepy stuff. I'd have no problem with pharmaceuticals not being able to advertise. I'd have no problem with injury attorneys not being able to advertise. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Yeah, you right. Mario Brothers, aka Latinx. What was your rap name, Latinx? That was terrible.
MJ Spicy.
MJ Mild.
That's cool. That's low, man.
MJ Spicy.
MJ Mild. That's good.
Wow. I did some I called it freelancing and you laughed.
That was good.
Because it's not freelancing, it's what?
Freestyling.
Freestyling.
Yes, it was
Yeah, I can rap.
That was good. The rhymes were good, man.
I'd have to just come up with a dorky name.
Yeah, your MC name needs some work, but the rhymes
I
were
think
good.
like Vanilla Squared.
Vanilla Squared.
And it's, it's like I'm a square kind of.
Try and come up
like in the rap world, I would be.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I going to do all of a sudden like change and be like, wow, Corey's so hip.
No, I see what you're saying.
Not wearing my pants halfway in between my waist and my knees.
We'll workshop the name. Maybe a play on words with like Corey or Neutral Ground or something.
Yeah.
For your rap name.
Koryoki.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Corey and then dash Oki.
Yeah, still no, but we're getting somewhere. We're on the right path.
Still no?
Yes.
I like Corey Oki.
We're on the right path for sure.
Coriolis effect.
That's not bad. I kind of like it.
Coriolis effect.
You'd have to explain what that is to a lot of people.
Why don't you Google it and we'll come back and talk about it?
I know what it is, but people
You
in
do
the
know
rap
what it
community,
is? How do you know what the Coriolis effect is? I learned that at LSU.
Definitely not school.
Wow. We're not going to let Mario Brothers look it up. We're going to see if he really knows it when we come back.
Word is one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, no cool spots. TM-AC.com, no cool spots.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground.
Mario Brothers, aka Latinx. Do you know what the Coriolis effect is? Go with the 2 things you said.
Does it have something to do with intercourse?
No.
Does it have something to do with surrounding yourself with uglier friends to make yourself look more attractive?
That's great. I'm no genius. You want to know why I know what the Coriolis effect is?
Why?
Because I learned it at LSU, and it starts off with Corey.
Okay.
Like if it was the Mariolis effect, you might have remembered it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Brings you back to your college days when you
But
learned that.
now we're going to go to, we're educated down here. Now we're going to go to a kid who's educated on the East Coast at Boston University, a real school where they actually educate folks. Let's see if Brett Martell knows what the Coriolis effect is. That would be impressive, Mario Brothers, because I only know it because it sounds like my name. Hey, Brett.
Hey, Corey.
Do you have any idea what
to do with the Earth's magnetic field and the and how its effect on a compass and stuff like that?
You're right. Ding, ding, ding. Jesus, check out the big brain on Brett. See that right there, Mario Brothers? You and I went to LSU. He went to Boston University.
Yep.
Boston University is known as an academic school. LSU is known as an athletic school.
You see why.
Yep. But I did learn Coriolis effect at LSU. So maybe I should give my alma mater, our alma mater, a little more credit. Brett Martell, that's very impressive. Essentially, where you are right now, if you were in the southern hemisphere, that ball would roll into the golf hole the opposite way.
Or at least the toilet would flush the opposite way, right?
That's right.
The vortex.
Yep. The opposite way. Check out the big brain on Brett. Should we just call it a day, Mario Brothers, and let Brett go back to the golf course and not even have him on anymore? I mean, just press the hell out of me. Magnetic field, I would have no clue. If Brett quizzed me, it'd be 0 for 10. The Coriolis effect, I have no idea, Brett. Something to do with sex or being around people that you look worse than you, so you look better? Oh, wait, that's what Mario said.
The Coriolis. I think there's a word, areola, which might have something to do with.
Well, I know in Pensacola, there's lots of streets, areola, right off of, what's the main drag in Pensacola? What is that main strip, Brett?
Oh, downtown? You mean?
No, not downtown, on Pensacola Beach, where along all the areola streets. What's that?
Not Fort Pickens Road.
No, it's Fort Pickens the other way. It's the opposite. It's named after like a Spanish explorer or something, I guess. It's got a little Spanish sounding name. I
forgot.
Yep, me too. Anyway, more worthless information. Hey, Brett, USA Today preseason coaches polls out. Texas #1, LSU 9, Tulane 36. Comment on that. And also, when's the AP preseason poll come out?
I should know the answer to that, but I can't actually remember it off the top of my head. But it should be soon, maybe the middle of the month. But I would not be surprised if LSU was a top 10 in that poll as well.
And what you saying by the end of the month?
No, the middle of the month, probably. So probably between the 15th and the 20th, but I can't remember exactly when. I'd have to look it up.
Brett,
I don't actually vote in it. I just pick the voters.
You suspect Texas will be #1 in the AP?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised by that. Put it that way.
Ohio State, Texas, one of the two, huh?
Yeah, one of the two. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of buzz around Texas, especially with the Arch Manning factor.
Yep. Now, it's going to be fun. I mean, New Orleanians, besides Texas being in the SEC, a lot of New Orleanians are going to watch because of Arch Manning. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people in New Orleans really have been kind of waiting for that since he burst onto the scene at Newman and played so well there.
Yep. I'll tell you what, LSU has one of the best quarterbacks in the country, expected to be a, top selection in the NFL draft. Tulane, they had big question marks at quarterback. And I guess you could say, it's a 4-way competition, but it looks like that kid from BYU is going to probably be your starter. LSU and Tulane both really solid with the quarterback position, and both teams seem to have a lot of depth. We talked about this a few weeks ago, Brett, expectations and hope. I think the expectations for Tulane and LSU are like 10+ wins each, and you're hoping for the Saints. You're hoping that there's an expectation for the college programs.
I think the Louisiana football season will be really fun on Saturdays. And who knows on Sunday?
Honestly, I my expectation for I don't have any expectation. My hope for the Saints, my hope is like going way back, 40+ years, or just about 40. The 87 Saints, or excuse me, the 86 Saints. Jim Mora's team, they went 7-9, and that was almost as good a record as that program's ever had in their history. And he was just getting started. But I remember watching them, and I was like, they were in games going into the fourth quarter and just didn't know how to close out, didn't have enough depth, enough players. The teams they were playing are more experienced, knew how to win. But I saw improvement, Brett. So if Kellen Moore can, show that the team is going in the right direction, and They get some play out of the quarterback position. The young guys play a little more experience. The old guys play like they're young. Maybe they can get to 6, 7, 8 wins. But I think that's the high end mark. What do you say?
Yeah, realistically, it is. Every year there's a team that really exceeds expectations and surprises people and sneaks into the playoffs. And we've talked about this. The Saints have been that team twice since 2000.
What would that be? Twice in 2000, the first year under Hazlitt, the first year under Peyton.
Right. And
yeah.
So we've seen it happen here. But it's not. But you got to remember that that's not the likely scenario. I mean, your expectations have to be realistic. And look, I mean, people here have a very, people here are very football savvy. They should have a pretty nuanced understanding of the game, and they should be able to enjoy a season where the team improves, where the team has a good attitude, where young players show signs of getting good, and showing promise for being good in the future, even if they don't make the playoffs this year. I mean, the key is that they don't look, checked out.
Yes, exactly. It can't be the last few years. We got to see improvement
over and over again.
Yep.
Right. Decimated by injuries, don't have a chance, bunch of nobody's playing, stuff like that. Like that's miserable. And it's kind of what happened at the end of last year, right? So, it's all about it's all about looking competitive.
Yep.
Right, Blue Boy?
There's Blue Boy. Brett, always a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Take care, Corey.
That's Brett Martell, another Martell Monday. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx at the controls. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Mario Brothers, that first Randy Mueller Hazlitt team, they brought in like 33 new players.
Yep.
33. I bet you Peyton brought in like 25. I don't see that much turnover right now.
Corey Johnson.
We'll see.
On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.
Here's the thing.